Hi everyone, welcome to Finch's Film Club podcast. This is the first ever episode of this podcast, so I just wanted to take a quick minute before the actual episode begins to thank all of you for joining us today. There are actually some suggestion boxes on Spotify, I think, or a Q&A section, something like that, where you can give us suggestions on which movie or TV show you want to talk about in future episodes, and I'd really love to hear your suggestions because I want to get you guys involved as much as possible. Today's episode is a pretty good one. It's all about Ridley Scott movies, so we focus on Blade Runner and Alien and kind of a mix between both of those, so it's really fun, really interesting. We look at his career as a filmmaker and everything, so it's definitely interesting and we learn a lot. And just another thank you before we begin to Evie for joining me in this episode, because this whole podcast would not have happened if she didn't randomly suggest on Christmas Day, actually, that I should start a podcast. So shout out to Evie for that. Really appreciate it. I know it took you 5 months to come here and record the first episode with me, but it was really fun and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope everyone else listening enjoys this episode as well. Hello and welcome to Finch's Film Club podcast. Thank you for joining us in the first ever episode. Today, I'm joined with Evie Hart.
Yeah.
She was the one that told me to start a podcast in the first place.
I did tell her.
She's the only reason that this is here.
I did. I said in Christmas. And then I was like, start the podcast. And Rebecca was like, you might be onto something. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, that was like 5 months ago.
That was 5 months ago. But it's not my fault. I live 5 hours away.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you didn't at the time. So you could have come here.
I just had lots of assessments.
Well, today we're going to talk about Ridley Scott movies. I think we're going to talk mostly about Blade Runner and Alien, but also other ones. But like, I just want to make it clear that if we forget any, they're not forgotten. It's just like we're talking about the other ones, you know?
We're talking about the iconic ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that his other films aren't iconic, but these ones are what cemented him as a director.
Because she studied him.
I did. I mostly did him in sixth form.
Did you actually?
Yeah, so sixth form, originally I was not supposed to do film. I was supposed to do media, but they were like completely like blocked out and they were like, you can't do it. And they were like, but you can do film. And I was like, I mean, I like watching films, but I don't know how I don't know how that's going to go. Like, what am I going to do? And then like, you know, we studied so many different directors and Ridley Scott was one of the ones that was pretty interesting. And Alfred Hitchcock, but that's another one.
I did write that down. I was like, when I was like starting this podcast, one of the things was like, if you can write 25 ideas, that means you should do a podcast.
Hitchcock is like, he's the one I'm doing my diss on, and he is like very interesting man. Very interesting.
Well, you can do that episode with me then.
Yeah, I will do. I will be the best person for it. Yeah. I'll bring in my diss and I'll be like reading it. I'll be like, here you go, guys.
It's my whole dissertation.
Just don't plagiarize it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what like you actually studied about him, you know?
So we did like obviously lots of different things in film studies. And we kind of just looked at him as kind of like an auteur director, kind of looking at him, because he also obviously is well known for doing his like sci-fi genres and kind of all of the different things that he does in like mise-en-scène and the actors. It wasn't like specifically being like, who is Ridley Scott? Like the question is Ridley Scott, but it is kind of, he's an interesting director, and I think he's obviously been big for years now, hasn't he? So he's been 30 years in the industry, maybe
30?
Even longer. Yeah, when did Alien come out?
1979.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it would be longer than that. Like,
really?
Can I mean,
do
maths
he's
or something?
80 or something.
Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, 30 would have been in like 2019. So he's like 35, nearly 40.
Years
Not years of age, by the way.
He's been directing since he was born.
Yeah, since birth.
I mean, that would have been quite impressive.
Yeah,
1-year-old directing Alien.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be a bit messed up.
A bit scary, I think.
Yeah. Be like, what's happened to this kid?
Right. Do you know what his first film was, out of interest? You can't look at my thing.
His
That's
first
for
film?
me. Yeah.
I don't think I do know his first film.
It was from the 60s.
The 60s? He's been going even longer.
He's been bloody doing this for ages, mate.
Bloody hell.
It was from the 60s. It was called Boy and Bicycle.
Boy and Bicycle?
Yeah. I think he
How long was it? Was it like a short feature?
I think so. He like took a camera from the college's like cupboard or something.
Oh, cute. So what he's doing, what I would be doing now, is what he...
I think, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to say.
We have got a guest.
Yeah.
She's behind the scenes.
Evie's sister is here, unfortunately.
She's playing with a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. So I'll try my best to make her not make.
She's the fact that I'm not some like child.
Yeah. She's an adult.
She is 19.
She's got Rubik's friend. Are you? Not after you drop that Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Disgusting.
Anyway, yeah. His brother was in it. The brother we spoke about earlier.
Oh, he does directing as well now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's dead, so.
Oh.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah,
Oh,
Tony
no.
Scott starred in it, and then he became a director who did Top Gun, and then Top Gun Maverick is also directed, dedicated to him. I think at the end of the film.
Oh my god, yes, it does.
Because I was at the end, and it's like, oh, like in memory of Tony Scott, and I was like, who's that? Because I knew that name, but I was like,
who is that?
I thought it was the guy who played Goose, because his name's like Anthony or something, and I was like, is he dead? But it was Ridley Scott's brother. So.
Oh no, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. After he did his little film in the 60s, he had his own agency. What is it? Like TV advert agency, like commercial one.
Yeah.
Because that's what him and his brother were, commercial directors, and that's why they're so like visuals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And they won loads of awards for his little commercials that he made. Yeah.
Oh, the fact they did commercials before big budget blockbuster films.
Yeah. Well,
actually, no, because I remember when I was reading about him, it was saying that like they wouldn't take him seriously as like a big director because he was doing all of these kind of commercial things, and they were like, "What, you want to direct a big budget film?" And they were like, "Yeah."
I think because there was one in like 1977, so 2 years before Alien, I think. Yes, called The Duelists, right? And that was like a film festival. I think no one watched it. Like, no one was interested in that film. No. So, sad times for Ridley Scott back in the day. But someone saw it, and I think that's how they chose him to direct Alien. Because, like, of one person that saw this film was like, this is great.
See, that is how, in the industry, you have one good connection and you're sorted. It's getting your first big break.
Yeah.
Him getting someone to take the chance on him.
Spielberg to direct Alien. Could you imagine?
I mean, Spielberg is good.
Well, yeah, but he's not Alien.
But yeah, that's true. It would have been a completely different film.
Yeah, like when I think of like Spielberg movies, I wouldn't necessarily think of Alien. I mean, it isn't one, but you know what I mean. Like, could have gone very differently.
I feel like his films are a lot more kind of the same sort of. They both focus on visuals, but I would say like Alien's quite dark.
Yeah, I mean, the only one you could compare it to, I guess, is Jaws, maybe.
Yeah,
but also not because.
But not, yeah.
I don't know. Weird
times.
Maybe Jurassic Park in terms of like sci-fi horror thing.
But also like Jurassic Park is very like vibrant still, and there kind of is a focus not truly on just like scary monsters.
I don't know who's calling me.
Tell them you're doing a podcast. Olivia's going to be a problem today.
Yeah, she is.
Why?
She's there getting like phone calls. She's
the manager.
The manager's getting phone calls. She's like,
getting her next booking.
I've got ads coming in. Trying to get my money.
So I'm trying to get all these contacts for you guys.
Yeah, of course. We're trying to get the network right now.
But no, like I feel like that kind of is different because they're focusing on like there's like nice, whereas I feel like Alien. The whole entire time it's
Ellie Alien.
Ellie Alien. Like there's that suspense that's building the whole entire time.
Yeah, it's very quiet. And that's why some people think it's really hard to get into at first.
I think I would say like the first like we were saying, the first 45 minutes is a bit like because it's all a bit not all over the place, but there's supposed to be a bit of kind of chaos because they don't know what's going on. They're like, what the hell is this?
But like, they did like far out shots from like in space, and then they use like the models for it and stuff, because obviously it's not a real fucking spaceship.
I mean, it would be cool,
especially in 1979.
That would have been quite impressive from Ridley Scott.
Well, I mean, that's what they did with like models and stuff, because like in Star Wars, even though Star Wars is not like, I don't think that the visual effects in Star Wars are as good as like Alien, because it looks. Well, I know it was like the 80s, but it just looks like it. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I feel like there are some films that age way better than others.
Not that Star Wars is bad, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll be have like Star Wars fans are like,
yeah.
oh my god, Rebecca, how dare you
How
slate
dare
them.
you?
No, I'm trying to think there's another film that's really ahead of its time. I mean, obviously Jurassic Park at the time was really quite ahead of its time. I mean, like, obviously we now look at it and we're like, the CGI is just quite funny.
It's
but
it's
is
still good.
still really good. I don't watch it and cringe, where, you know, when you watch some films and you're like,
yeah.
oh my god, the CGI is like horrific.
Like in Ghostbusters, I will say, Ghostbusters, the original one, the fucking dogs.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Sorry though, you can look straight up at, like, for example, Twilight, like CGI Renesmee. It's just awful. Like, and that was not even that
Ridley
long
Scott
ago.
could have done it better.
Yeah, he could have done.
He could have done.
If the 80s is doing better than the 2000s, there's something
going
wrong.
on, mate.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Not very big budget, obviously.
Well, there was like obviously like inspiration from 2001, that film, not the year. Space Odyssey, because that's you know like the mother thing, the what is it called? The like navigation system. I think
they have
like
very
the head
similar,
of the ship. They
have very similar shots as well. Like if you look at the posters for like Alien and the posters for kind of like Space Odyssey, they've both kind of got similar. I mean, they're obviously same sort of genre. You can't be completely original.
No, well, I mean, he took that and then Star Wars because it would like combine the two. There's like a well, he didn't take Star Wars because obviously he didn't, but like it was like the vibe.
But like,
do you know what I mean?
Inspiration,
Yeah. Because there was like Star Wars is like kind of messy in terms of like where it looks like everything is everywhere, like that film. It's like, and then Space Odyssey is like really empty. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going to do both of those things,
mixture of both
somehow, and then it will be Alien, which is good because it's just like it looks like a spaceship. It looks like a messy spaceship, but it's also really empty, and that is perfect. It's fucking perfect.
It's perfect.
I guess we're talking about Alien now. We've just moved on to Alien.
But actually, in terms of like speaking about models and like it having a models for this, fun fact, I this might sound really stupid from me, but like when I went to visit Harry Potter Land, I know this is a bit
Harry Potter Land,
Harry Potter Studios. Why did I not realise that Hogwarts was a whole entire model?
Oh yeah.
Like I actually thought when I was younger that it was a school. That there was this like castle that they were using rather than this obviously the model is super impressive. Yeah. But like
no, but it's weird to go there and then see that and be like, wow, that's just the whole thing.
Yeah, you know but like it's kind of scary as well looking at films and you're like, I mean, it doesn't ruin it in a way, but like, you know, when you go on set and you think, that wasn't real?
Yeah.
That was a green screen?
That's a green screen? That was a green screen?
Yeah.
We're not actually in... Why have I forgotten the name of the place in Blade Runner, the actual place? The whole thing that it's based in. That isn't that place?
Oh my goodness. No, we are there.
We are.
Also, it's mad that Blade Runner is set in 2020. Is it 2021?
Yeah. 2020, I thought.
Or 2020. One of the times.
One of the two.
And that's how they thought the world was going to.
I know. I was thinking about that when I watched
nothing like it.
The first time. That's crazy. I mean, it was like 40 years in the future. And I guess for some reason they thought that it would be like
synths.
Yeah. With synths, pretty much.
Well, replicants.
Yeah. If you want to get technical about it,
yeah.
Might end up calling them synths because
yeah, we definitely will. Like simps.
Yeah,
they're not real. No, but isn't that crazy? Like, what if we actually did have like people who are actual like robots, but they look like people? Just
they
walking
probably
around.
will now because like AI. Because I had to make a video with the AI presenter as like an actual person, and I was like, how did you just make this actual person say the words that I just wrote down, like turn it into a whole? It was Australian man because I was like,
I know
that'd
it's
be fun.
scary.
Yeah.
It's like my friend went to a concert of ABBA.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's all like...
Yeah, but that's like a hologram, isn't it?
Yeah, holograms.
Mm.
And you can only really tell when it's like zoomed in, then you can kind of tell that they're not actual people.
That's so weird.
But like, and you're not allowed to record any of it. It's like this secret cult that they've
that's
got.
So...
Like,
they're not allowed to record any of it.
They've got a phone out and this woman came over and was like, hi, excuse me, can you put your phone away?
That is
I guess
so
maybe
strange.
It would ruin the experience because if you know what the hologram looks like,
yeah,
then you're going to be like, but it looked quite real from the one photo that she got me before being told that she needs to put her phone out before she'd get kicked out. It looked quite cool. And I was like, I kind of want to go. But also, like, why would you go to a concert to watch not real people.
Oh,
But anyway,
yeah.
that's probably going to be the future.
That kind of scares me. Like,
No.
what if you're an actor and you've only just started acting and then they start using your face, like, pretend?
It's like deep fakes.
Yeah. I want to talk about Sigourney Weaver because I love her. I'm obsessed with her.
I love her as well.
She was only in one film before Alien.
Was she?
Yeah.
Was that like her first big break?
Yeah. And she was on like
Ridley
like
Scott.
she was in theatre and stuff, but she wasn't in a film before because obviously it's very different.
I mean, she would have been quite young in that film. She would
Yeah.
have been like late 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit.
I just think she's so cool. She did so well, and that was only her like first proper film.
I like the fact that she's like this powerful girl boss
Yeah.
who is a little bit rude. Like, she's a bit rude. She's there like,
Yeah, but that's because
bossing
she
people
knows
about.
her worth.
yeah, that's true.
She
No one was
knows-
listening to her, and she was the only one with her head screwed on.
Yeah, but that's only
Hence why she didn't die.
hence why she
Oh,
didn't die.
spoiler.
Speaking of head
A lot of
screwed
people
on,
die.
yeah, the only reason that she like wasn't being listened to is because of that Ash guy. So
Because he's a man.
he's a man, or is he a what are they called androids? He is one of those. That's why he had like milk for blood.
Yeah.
Isn't that
See,
so
he
weird?
He does love a good old robot, doesn't he?
He does. And then I think that guy, that was his first film as well. I think I'm right in saying that. Because he was like really famous for like, again, like theatre stuff. That was his first like film role.
Maybe I feel like him giving. I mean, also it might have been to do with budget reasons. Who knows? He may be like, I need to get actors who are a bit less expensive.
Maybe.
So he could spend more money on the visuals, or he's giving them the opportunity to shine, which he obviously is taking a what's the word? Chance on them.
Yeah. Like ABBA again.
Yeah, he's taken a chance on them, and it's worked out. Whereas
Yeah.
for some people, that might have not been the case.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he would have wanted like a big actor in the role of like Ellen Ripley, but then
But
Sigourney
it's
Weaver
nice.
came along,
Yeah.
which was really good because she's the best.
No, she is good. She's the original girl boss, because I feel like before in film, there's like when I was reading like some articles, she's like one of the first empowering female characters,
And
like
then
ever.
ever.
And that was like in the 70s, what was it, 70s, late 70s.
Yeah,
Like that's mad. And cinema started in like
the past.
the 1900s.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like females in film, I mean, I could go on about this for ages because it's so infuriating, but like females in film, they were just kind of like the arm piece of a man, and they were there to like stand there and look pretty, and like it was like the male gaze, whereas I feel like she's very much like kind of going against that sort of strain. I mean, I saw another thing that said that like Scott is inspired by his mother, and like she's a big kind of,
Is she a girl boss?
yeah, she's
Yeah.
a girl boss. Like he was like, my mother, like she was in charge, and apparently she's 4'11", which is even funnier.
That's
And
so
she
cool.
was there like bossing around everyone, like you need to do this,
Yeah.
you need to do that, and they were all like, okay, mom,
Okay, mom.
I'll do it. So I think he was saying like a lot of his characters are based on her, which is interesting because I feel like the characters in Blade Runner, like the women and how they are portrayed, is very different
Yes,
to Alien.
very true.
I feel sorry for Rachel.
She feels sorry for Rachel.
I feel sorry for her. Do you not feel sorry for her?
Yeah, of course I do.
She's
It's
like just bless her. She's a replicant, you know, and I'm not being funny. Deckard is taking advantage of her.
mhm. He didn't know. I mean, she didn't know. Sorry.
No, she didn't.
But then they were
Everyone
calling
knew.
her it. Like, it doesn't know. Like, shut up, man.
She's a woman,
She's a woman
and she deserves
to be.
on screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like it's Pris and someone else. Zola?
Yeah.
Zola. I think that's her name. Like
The
Zola.
snake lady.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first that you see of Zola is her like half naked.
Yeah.
She's like, and he's like being a bit pervy
Mm.
in her like backstage room where she's getting ready. And the next thing you know, she's getting in the shower and using her kind of like what like feminine wits to like trick him. And then they're running down the street, like out
Yeah.
onto like the pavement, and he's there with his gun. And I'm not gonna lie, Deckard how the hell he like actually beat up all of these like replicants who were like super strong. He almost dies like several times.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I guess that's the point.
no, I know, but how is this man like beating them all?
Yeah, he's just one guy.
Yeah, like what? Like they literally say the replicants are so hard to kill, like, and to be even able to kill one is like impressive. And this man's like going around killing them all. I'm like, I don't believe it. Hence why Deckard is a replicant.
Interesting ideas. I don't want him to be one, but like,
do you know?
I don't know. I mean,
I feel like it kind of makes sense a little bit because I think he's a bit emotionless.
That is so
but
true.
Maybe that's because of
maybe
the
it's just
job.
Harrison Ford.
Controversial, but I also agree.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's a bad actor at all.
He just has like a.
But he plays the same role.
Mm.
But what's interesting is I feel like Deckard is a questionable hero.
Hero?
Yeah, I was watching Big Hero 6 last night. That's
why. Oh, that's such a good film. I love that
film. It's so cute. Paybacks for life. But I feel like he's such a questionable hero, whereas in like Indiana Jones, for example, he is like the classic good guy that's like saving everyone. Whereas okay, you could say Deckard is like saving people, but also like he can't
be asked.
Yeah,
I just feel like he can't be asked to do it.
And he's got questionable morals.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't believe him. And I'm a bit like, Hence why, like, he's emotionless. I'm like, that's sus.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I see it.
I see that.
I see that he might be a sus character. But I think he is. I'm not really the biggest fan on him. I think there are other characters that they could have focused on that were more... Like, Roy. Roy's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
He's a replicant and he's got emotions.
Yeah.
Like, I felt sorry for Roy by the end of it.
Really?
Yeah,
what about...
I know he's evil. I don't even think they're evil. The replicants aren't evil.
He just wants to live.
Yeah, they just want to live in peace.
Yeah.
And they're getting hunted down by these... What's his job role? Like, what is it? Like, he's a...
Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah! Blade Runner.
What's his job called? Oh, it's only the title of the film.
No, but for some reason I was thinking police officer.
Police officer. Oh my god, I can't believe you forgot that. Do you know that part in, like, I don't know when it is, but he's in his car, Mr. Deckard, and he's got his little, don't know what he's doing, but he's in his car. Mm-hmm. And then he, like, you know, the replicants have that thing in their eyes. Yeah.
Yes,
he has one, yeah.
Yes, he does. That's also why I think there's an argument for that he's a replicant. But
yeah, I
also
think he is one, but
But I watched an interview with him and he was like, no, it's just like the camera.
But they do that on purpose.
No, yeah.
With the mirror.
Was Ridley Scott, I'm sorry, he knew what he was doing and he wanted to put in little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Because they did the mirror, right? And it, like, half of it was on the eye and half of it wasn't, or something like that. And that's what made that shape. And then he had one, like all the replicants do.
He does.
So what's that mean? What does that mean?
What is up with that? And here's Harrison Ford still arguing that Deckard is not a replicant. Well, not arguing now because of Blade Runner 2049. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, he was like, Deckard's not a replicant. And apparently Ridley Scott agreed, but now they're all like, Ridley Scott's like, yeah, he might be a replicant. It's like, you should have just said...
How do you know? Like, how do you not know? It's your film.
It's your film. Yeah, exactly. Like, you should know. Maybe he's like trying to keep secret. He's like, I'm going to let the audience decide. Mm-hmm. Get a lot of active spectatorship going. Opinions.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, here we are debating, is Deckard a replicant?
Yeah, but then, like...
Is he or is he not?
In, like, the reviews and stuff, people might have said that Deckard's, like, really boring. Maybe it's because he's a replicant. Maybe they should have thought harder about that.
I think that would make sense. Like, I feel like for him to be such, like, kind of a bit of a bland character and not have this emotion, it would make sense for it to come out and he's a replicant. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry, the actual replicants had more emotions than Harrison Ford. But maybe that's because he's one of the replicants that hasn't, what is it, the word when they've, like, gone rogue?
I don't know.
Deviated or something? I don't know.
Deviated? Maybe.
That's the right word.
I think, maybe he's like a lower generation. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. He's like Nick Valentine. Mm-hmm. He's the first. He's the first generation.
Like Gen 1.
And hence why they can control him and not the others, because the others have actually started to develop their emotions.
We're talking about Fallout 4 now, by the way. We're going...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't make that clear.
Well, it will be all over the place because we're just talking, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fine. Get over it. Get over it.
I have too much to say, that's why. I feel like
Fine.
instead of like being like, this is the question, this is the answer. But I feel like with a podcast that's better.
Yeah, you just talk,
rather than you being sat there and being like...
Doing like a quiz.
Yeah.
What we could do...
A Q&A.
Yeah. I actually did a test to see if I was a replicant.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember what I got. I don't think I am. But I think it encourages you to take the test multiple times to see. It's like
But you could be like, we could all be. I could not be real.
She's not real, guys. You heard it here first. Evie's not real.
I could be like who went missing? Someone went missing. Olivia, I'm talking to Olivia. Someone went missing in the hospital, or someone got taken away. You didn't, so Olivia has to be real. But I could be like a replicant
actual
baby.
real life.
Yeah, like
Yeah, babies get taken like away from the families.
Yeah.
That's how
So
babies get swapped.
what if they take you away and they've taken your real self and they've replaced you with some robot baby? Like
this
that's
is just
scary.
It's just synths in Fallout 4. That's the whole point, like kidnapping people in the night and then replacing them with synths. Which is very Blade Runner like focused, by the way, Fallout 4, in case you have or have not played that game. There's like a Tears in Rain reference in that as well.
Is there?
Yeah, on top of, Fort Hagen, where Kellogg is.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a synth on the roof and he's like got I don't know, he's like holding maybe a gun or something that like this might be a separate thing. But like he has a thing in his hand or something, maybe a gun like Rick's one, and he's like in the same position as like Roy would have been. There's also another one, I don't know where it is, but I think it's that scene as well. Like,
is it right at the end where Roy's like they're on the roof?
Yeah.
Bit. Oh, that's quite a scary sequence. I was like on the edge of my seat. This is where I felt sorry for Roy. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie,
Tears in Rain.
He looked crazy.
Crazy.
He did. He looked a bit scary.
Did you just do that?
Olivia is
32% likely to be a replicant.
That's not a lot, to be fair. That's quite low.
That was fast. Well, it does ask you to answer the questions really fast, doesn't it? It's like quick reactions. We can do that. I think we should end the podcast with that. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I will. This is where I get told that I'm a replicant.
Yeah.
I'm not real.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Ooh. But yeah.
Well, that'd be kind of funny.
Blade Runner is very much referenced in many things.
It is. It's a very, like, popularly used...
parodied thing.
Yeah.
Like Alien as well. Like, the chestburster scene is, like, one of the most ever. Like, they do it in Shrek.
They do it in Shrek?
Yeah, they do. I think it's when, like, in Shrek 2 or 3, whichever one they meet Puss in Boots.
That's Shrek 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I love Shrek. Just want to put it out there. It's really great.
Animation films are elite.
Attacked by Puss in Boots and then he pops out through his stomach. That is an Alien reference.
Yes.
They do it in loads of other things as well.
Yes. I think, like, that film was probably, like, a big movement for kind of sci-fi films.
Yeah.
The same with Blade Runner. Obviously, like,
I think
they're both...
I have a picture of people reacting to the chestburster scene in, like, a test audience. Which is...
have you?
I do. I have. Oh my god, look. It's right there. Look at that.
They're like, oh, no.
I like that guy. He's quite happy about it, to be honest. He
It's
doesn't seem
the
amused.
woman in the middle.
Yeah.
She's like...
If you're watching the video version of this, then you will see this image. If not...
That would probably be me. I'd be there like...
Yeah. That's what I'm like. I mean, I know it's going to happen, but I'm like, okay, can I watch this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, like, especially in... obviously, back in the day, they had a lot of restrictions on what they can and can't film. Obviously, like, they had the Hays Code. Literally so much. I mean, it's not probably so much for Ridley Scott, but for Hitchcock, like, you couldn't really show, like, blood and gore. And, like, so the way you could get away with that was kind of using dark visuals.
Yeah.
Because you see less kind of goriness. And, like, being in black and white. But if you look at Blade Runner and Alien, it's not in black and white, but it is quite dark, and I think you can probably get away with it being a bit gorier and a bit more graphic.
Do you know what the original ending for Alien was going to be?
What?
You know how at the end she does the thing where it's like this is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off or whatever.
Yeah.
The original ending was the alien was going to bite her head off and use her voice to record that message and then get taken to other places in the, like...
I mean, that would have definitely been a plot twist.
Yes.
I don't know whether I would have preferred it. I mean, maybe you should have done an extended cut with like,
maybe.
with the proper ending.
But then we wouldn't have had aliens.
Yeah, that's true.
So that would have been bad in my eyes because I love aliens.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. Alien is better, I think. Well, not better, but I just like that one because Aliens is very like army-ish. You know, very much guns, very much blowing things up. A lot of people dying.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I think die in a lot of Ridley Scott's films.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he likes to kill people off.
Yeah,
but I think it keeps it more interesting. You're like, oh, whoa, he's just died. Your favourite character is not safe. Actually, though, if your favourite character is any of the characters that die, you've got a questionable taste in the characters.
True. I mean,
Apart from the replicants, I feel a bit sorry for them.
I feel a bit sorry for Kane in Alien. No one they should have listened to Ellen Ripley and then had him in like quarantine, and then maybe they would have been able to help him. But Ash was like, nope, let him in. He's fine. Yeah. And then he got exploded by the little thing, the alien. So
yeah, that was pretty. Yeah.
And then I really loved it when they shot his body out into space because that was really hilarious. Like when he's just on the like bed, he's like spinning around. Yeah.
He's like,
if I ever die,
that's how Rebecca wants to go.
Yeah.
Take her up in space. Fire her out.
Yeah.
I swear that if you go in space, your head explodes. Like if you got like fired outwards because the pressure's too much.
Maybe we should test it out.
There isn't pressure in space.
Yeah, I mean,
I swear though, that's why you have
like
to have
astronauts?
like your help. Well, so you can breathe, but
well, yeah, but there would still be pressure if that was your theory. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're wearing a helmet, it doesn't stop the fact that your head's going to blow up. So,
pretty sure there's no pressure.
Okay, I've got.
I'll search it. I might be wrong.
Oh,
but it's because there's no particles in space.
Okay, scientists.
Like press against you.
Oh, you just die then.
You suffocate.
Oh,
horrible.
That's not very nice.
Horrible.
Not nice, but oh well. I mean, maybe it's a better way to die than getting eaten by aliens and killed by aliens.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't really know what I'd want. None of them.
No.
I'd be like, get me back to Earth.
Yeah. Take me back, guys.
I'm sick of this.
Yeah. I think the alien, right? Because obviously they had the big like model for it and everything. Well, it was a guy in a suit, which was cool. Just like a really big guy.
They do that, and it's really funny when you see the person behind it.
Yeah.
It's like looking at Hagrid, for example, in the suit that he has to get in. It's so funny. I'm like, oh, bless.
But yeah, the alien suit, like for a suit that took that long to like make look good, he only uses like it in half shots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is insane. But one of my favorites is when Dallas gets attacked in the vents, and it's just like it goes like this at him. I love it when that happens because it's just like he's like, "Hey," do you know what I mean? And
then you've just got like the man in the. I imagine knowing that it's just a man in an alien suit. Like you wouldn't like these actors are probably like pissing themselves on set.
Hilarious.
And then in the
just
film,
like the alien
like,
just walking around.
Yeah. Like whoa. I think I just have to. That's why it'd be quite fun having little kids. I bet like the kids in It and all of those types of films, they must be terrified. Like, you know, when it's like rated like a 15 or an 18, are they allowed to watch the films?
They were in it, so I'd imagine they'd
have
be able to. Yeah.
But maybe because when you work on a set, you know that it's not scary. You know that it's not real. But also like, surely that makes it harder to act.
If I was like a kid in like a horror movie, like a really scary one, I don't know if I'd want to see it, to be honest.
No.
Even if I knew that it was like fake.
No, I wouldn't want to see it because at least like, like they probably don't have all of like the green screens and all of the kind of CGI that they do in the horror film.
Yeah.
Like when it actually gets like edited and cut together. So like they're probably like, was that actually me in that scene?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, horrible.
They used children in Alien. They did.
Did they?
Yeah. You know the egg room? The alien planet room where they're like the big guy in the chair, like the big skeleton of the man in the chair or whatever. Alien in the chair. The room was supposed to look big, but obviously they couldn't make it look huge. So they just use kids to make the people look small. And then, isn't that crazy?
These poor kids.
They're just like, I think they were like the kids of like the actors or something. I think.
Oh.
So, you know, they got involved. They had a little part.
they got a little bit of a payday.
Yeah.
Here you go, here's your little
I mean, I hope they did.
No, they definitely
They
didn't.
definitely
The
didn't.
parents definitely get all
No.
the money. They were like, I'll have that.
Yeah.
You can have it when you're 18.
They had that room was also the same room as the room with the eggs in it. So you know how it's that room with the space jockey, that's what it's called. And then they go down into where the eggs are.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same room because it was like spinning. It was like they made half of a room and then they would spin it round and have the egg room in there.
It is super cool how they can do all these like set sort of things, especially even then.
Because obviously they had like limitations. He couldn't do that. Like you can't have a massive space room twice. So he's like, I know, I'll use like one half.
But like,
and
we
half.
don't have the budget for this.
No, I don't know.
I really want to know now if I'm a replicant.
She wants to know.
I do.
Okay. Also, did we get feedback from your Googling about space?
Oh yeah, there's no pressure in space. There's no particles.
Oh, okay. I got
No
it wrong.
space. Let me see. Replicant test. You have to answer really fast. I'm going to have to read it to you really fast.
Ooh! Okay.
It's the one on the British Film Institute, right? The BFI.
The BFI.
website.
I feel like that'd be the most certifiable one.
Yeah, I did it on the BFI.
Yeah.
I love the BFI. They do so
Mhm.
many good things.
Okay. It says reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention.
Oh, God. Okay.
Do you want me to read it to you or do you just want to read it? Well, I mean, we have to read it out.
Yeah,
so-
read it out. Read it out.
Okay, let me read it really fast.
Okay.
Go. You're watching TV, suddenly you realise there's a wasp on your arm. Do you swat it, squash it, savor it, or trap it?
Swat it.
She wants to kill it. You pass a homeless person, cold night, big city, you fumble for change, but a £10 note drops into their lap. Do you leave it, swap it for small change, or say it was deliberate, or double it?
Leave it.
Leave it. I think I put that as well. A friend offers you tequila. In the glass lies a worm. Time to drink it and enjoy the ritual. Do nothing and mask your disgust. Refuse it politely or pick it out.
Refuse it politely.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah.
Now and then you contemplate life alone. It is independent, inconceivable, insulting, or intriguing.
Insulting.
Insulting.
I wouldn't want to live alone.
Right. You see a friend who has suffered bereavement. Afterwards, you feel annoyed at their lack of engagement, powerless to help, saddened, or bored.
Powerless to help.
Powerless to help.
Yeah.
At a party, a guest boasts their perfect life. How do you respond? You indulge them, try to outdo them, sit silently, or you mock them.
I'd probably mock them and be like, ugh.
I think I did that.
Yeah.
Finally, is bring your kids to work day. Your child misbehaves and is slapped by the boss. What is your reaction? Horror, acceptance, fury, or fear?
Horror!
Yeah.
My kid's just been slapped. What?
Okay, you're 43% likely to be a replicant.
Oh my God, guys, I'm the most.
I don't know, I might have got 43. I think
Oh.
Rebecca had high. I swear you were like 70.
No. I thought I was 45 or something as well. So we're both the same.
Okay.
I think.
Olivia's like only... Were you 32? I think you were 32.
Okay, so we're definitely replicants then. That's almost 50%.
That is a bit scary.
That is a bit
50%.
scary.
And plus, I've been on this... Well, as long as I know.
I've been on
this
this
earth
earth.
for quite a while. So I would have known how to cover it a bit more, being a replicant.
But then with Deckard, right, he's like been on there for ages.
yeah, he has.
But then he wouldn't have been as advanced to live as the other ones, right? Unless they just... Did they make the short life thing afterwards?
They have only like a certain lifespan.
4
It's like,
years.
Yeah, it's not long.
But did they add that in afterwards? Like with the new ones? Or was
Maybe
that like...
with the new ones, they were too powerful, and they were like, if they live for too long, they're outliving everyone.
And then he killed the guy pushed his eyes in.
That was horrible.
Mm.
That was horrible.
What was his name? I don't remember. It was like Tyrrell Court or something. Not his name, like the company.
Yeah. That
yeah.
when he went up to his his big extravagant room.
Yeah.
And Roy was like, see, this is the thing. People will be like, how do you feel sorry for Roy? But like, I'm not being funny. If someone's like created you and has basically made your sole purpose to basically be like a slave,
Yeah.
you would probably
Be
do
a little
the
bit
same.
mad.
Yeah,
you know?
you would be angry.
You're a little bit angry.
Maybe not someone's eyes in, but
Yeah.
you know, he could have done it a bit nicer.
Mm-hmm.
But hey ho,
Yeah.
that was Roy's style. He was like, if I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna go out with a bang.
You know, the Tears in Rain scene
Mm-hmm.
was improvised.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. He improvised it.
I would say that's one of the best
Things ever.
scenes as well.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Wow.
I
Wow,
could not do
guys.
that. I mean, I'm a very amateur actress. I'm not even an actress, so.
Wow.
But doing that improvised
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I
I
think that's good.
couldn't be doing that.
Then he killed himself, so.
Yeah, I feel like that. I mean, do you know what though? I kind of prefer that to Deckard killing
Dying.
him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a bit like he was able to end his own life
Mm-hmm.
rather
And
than.
then Deckard can be like, wow, I feel so crap about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly, because he's shit at his job. And
his job as a
Blade Runner.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know he killed like 3 of them. Was there 4 of them?
There was the one that I forget about who I just didn't think was very relevant. And then there was there's
2 girls, another guy,
and
Roy.
Yeah.
I think. And the 2 girls, coincidentally, I'm pretty sure die first. Or does one of the men die first?
The man dies. I thought I
Or
might
does
be
he
making
die
this up.
first?
I thought it was like near a food truck or something. Or like
Yeah, he's like running after because he's chasing Pris. I think she becomes quite. Oh, is it Pris or Zola? I don't know. I get confused. They look very similar. Zola is the one that is the circus performer.
Yeah, and
girl.
then Pris is the one that lives with the poor man Sebastian. What's
Yeah.
his last name? I don't know. He's cute.
He is cute, and this is why
I felt so bad because when he died and all his little like toys were like running around, and they just didn't know that he was dead.
They didn't know he was gone. They were like, "Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
See ya."
Mm.
And this is why Deckard, he's just got he doesn't care. He doesn't think about these things.
He doesn't think about these things.
He doesn't care.
Just wants his coin.
Yeah, he does.
Mm.
But maybe he's not even getting paid to do this
No,
because he is a replicant.
he wouldn't know.
He's a slave to the Blade Runner lifestyle.
I think he has to be then.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to agree with someone who's been like, no, he isn't. Yes, he is. Do you know what I mean? I need a clear answer.
And maybe that's the reason why he treated Rachel the way that Rachel. But then again, maybe he can't be because he knew Rachel was a replicant and he was taking advantage of the fact that she was.
Yeah,
a
but he'd
replicant.
done it for years. Do you know what I mean? Like he'd done the test all the time. He knew the outcome.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't he answer his own questions in his head? Do you know what I mean?
True. But maybe also they're getting someone who's a replicant to come do it so they can kind of analyse how he would respond and how they would respond and if it's very similar.
Yeah. I didn't like the way he's treated Rachel though. I mean, he was nice to her, but like in
a weird way.
The scene where he's just like, yes, I am in love with you. He just showed up at her house.
So weird.
And she was just looking at like a picture of her mum or something, who obviously isn't her mum. But like,
yeah, because there's photographs everywhere throughout the film, obviously, because these poor people have got fake memories like implanted in them. And they want to obviously have some sort of way to remember their life.
Yeah.
For them to realise that it wasn't their life at all. Which is just really sad. Bless Rachel. She's a victim in all of this.
She's really cool, so.
She is. The women in Blade Runner, I think, are the best characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the men, apart from Roy. Stan Roy.
She's a Roy fan.
Oh, to a degree. He is a bit scary.
To a degree. Yeah, he's a bit scary.
He is scary.
I don't like the way he jumps. That's a bit terrifying.
It's his facial expressions as well. He looks like he is going to kill you.
Yeah. I don't like that.
No.
But also, he's a powerful man. Some good character.
Like, if he's gouging in someone's eyes as easy as he did, you're a goner, mate.
No remorse.
And this is why
maybe he had some
how
remorse.
Deckard survived as a normal human.
Yeah.
He was like middle-aged and he's pretty like, he's a bit unfit.
He wasn't really doing much, you know. He was just like hiding behind walls.
I know.
Yeah.
With his shit gun. Like he's got like a little pistol. Like, get a better weapon.
Fun fact, in Fallout New Vegas, there is a gun that is like that, and people think it's a Blade Runner reference, but I don't know if it is or not. Like, it's supposed to look exactly...
What's it called?
I don't know. Really should have thought about that before saying it.
Should have done, because I feel like I would have known.
Okay. Let me Google it. Also,
have a Google.
Do you want to expand on them being in the same universe as Alien?
So, they're apparently both in the same universe, which you can kind of tell, because I feel like if you look at both of kind of their how they. I mean, obviously you can tell that. I think you can tell that they've both been directed by the same director.
Yeah.
And Ridley Scott is kind of known for being a bit of like an auteur director and just the way that he kind of films things. There was like a major one that I've completely forgotten, but but they're both in the same sort of universe. Obviously, Alien is based in space and Blade Runner is not. But if you kind of look at that gun, I know where that's from. Is it actually inspired?
It's modelled on the pistol used by Rick Deckard in the film Blade Runner.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Maybe this whole game series is just Blade Runner.
I think Blade Runner is just obviously the developers must love Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Or Ridley Scott is a secret.
He works for Bethesda.
Yeah, he works
or
secret.
Obsidian.
Yeah, he's a secret video game developer.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
whole like concept of synth is just the same. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I never clocked on that synths is in Fallout 3.
What? Because the
and the railroad
replicated man or whatever.
Yeah. And I never actually I always thought, it's just got the Brotherhood in it, but it's got all of them in it. Like it's got the railroad. It hasn't actually got Preston Garvey's mates in it. It hasn't. They're a bit boring. They're a bit irrelevant.
You're a railroad gal.
Yeah, well, I loved the Brotherhood in no, before in Fallout 3, but that's because you basically had to choose between them or the Enclave, the Enclave are evil, like they're evil little shits.
Yeah,
and they basically want to contaminate all the water to kill all of like the what they called super mutants and all of them, but it would have then just killed also everyone else.
Nice,
which is just stupid. And then obviously Fallout New Vegas is kind of a bit different. That's not really in that universe of simps and all that sort of stuff. But again, it was developed with Obsidian instead of just purely Bethesda. But I'm going to be controversial and I'm going to say Fallout New Vegas is the best.
Yeah,
the best Fallout.
Yeah,
I love Fallout 4 because I like how it is kind of a continuation of Fallout 3.
Yeah,
and Fallout 3 was the first one that I played, but Fallout New Vegas is the best one.
It's so good.
They made it in like less than a year.
They did. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Putting all those Blade Runner references in.
Yeah, like
in under a year.
I think like they have so many other like little Easter eggs and stuff, which the other games I don't think have kind of thought about as much. Maybe Fallout 4 has got a bit more going on. Yeah. I feel like Fallout 4 has actually has aged better. I feel like more people now play it than when it first came out. But maybe that's because of the love for the series. Yeah. Rather than... I mean, there has got some good characters. I feel like
it's so Blade Runner, Fallout 4. Diamond City.
Yeah, it is. That is literally the city.
What's the noodle guy called? Takahashi or whatever his name is. His one line that he says constantly in Japanese, I think. That is the same thing that the food vendor says to Deckard in the film.
Yeah, when he's eating his noodles. Yeah.
It's the same thing. And Nick Valentine is obviously very much Rick Deckard.
He is.
So, and he's a synth. So
but he's a better version of Deckard.
In conclusion, that might mean that Deckard is a synth because Nick Valentine is a synth. So,
I think that is the truth. He is whether or not everyone will agree. Deckard is just with the little Easter eggs, and even if it was done on purpose or not, like why would they put in a scene with like his eye like that if it wasn't intentional? Like he could have just been like, oh, we'll get rid of that.
Yeah, like, oh, that was shot wrong.
Yeah, because apparently
and then the extra scene with the unicorn thing.
Yeah, like why was that put in?
Yeah,
but also like why? But then I guess then they've only put it in for people who are actual fans because it's in the extended cut. It's not in the actual film.
Yeah, but then it would have been.
I know
what I mean,
but it's almost like he's like wanting us as the audience to investigate.
Yeah,
be like, is he?
That's why he's giving us mixed answers.
Yeah, that's why he's not being honest.
He doesn't know.
And like he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
I think Ridley Scott actually doesn't know. He's just like, I think he's just going along with the times. He's like, yeah, he's a replicant. No, he's not a replicant.
Yeah. If
they make another one, which I don't think they will.
No.
Because I don't think Blade Runner
needs.
2049 was as good.
Controversial though, because everyone loves that film.
Do they?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I think
People are like, this is a great film. People could like, you know, there's like accounts on Instagram that are like film focused and stuff.
Yeah.
The amount of like screenshots and stuff from 2049 is like, I'm like, really? Do you know, it's not bad.
I didn't enjoy it nowhere near as much.
No.
I actually probably wouldn't watch it again.
No.
Is that
It's
controversial?
taken me about 3 weeks to get to the point I'm at right now, which is not even finished. So. Yeah.
The only good thing probably about it is it's Ryan Gosling. And I don't even think that's a good enough reason to go watch it.
No.
Or maybe the best reason is that it's directed by Ridley Scott. He
Yeah.
was an
He's an influencer.
Yeah, an influencer. I can't speak for some reason.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think the film, and like to bring back Harrison Ford, who also already is a bit like, I don't think he, like, yeah, okay, it's not the same about Deckard, but also he's just a bit,
Yeah.
it's just a bit meh.
I love the soundtrack, by the way. I just want to say that. Put
The
it out
soundtrack
there.
is good.
Soundtrack's good.
I think though, if that also adds to the kind of dimension of the film,
Yeah.
like with the kind of dinginess and
The synth sounds.
the synths, yeah.
Synths.
You've got to have a good soundtrack
Yeah.
to build that tension. And I feel like Blade Runner was the first film that kind of explored these futuristic sort of tendencies and actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
And didn't make it look too unrealistic.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, you know how it's like they didn't make it look like there was like VR headsets everywhere.
Yeah.
And like loads of, like, there was still a lot of kind of like life that we would consider now.
Yeah.
But
I know
just
what
in
you
a
mean.
bit of a different sort of world, because
Just
obviously
a big city.
it just looks a bit, I mean, it just looks heavily polluted, which is the point, because they're trying to say,
And then go like off-world and stuff.
yeah.
Do that.
But who knows, that might be the world in the next however many years.
Yeah.
And we could be living through the start of Blade Runner.
That is scary. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end, actually.
Yeah.
Nice summary there. How it's finished, like, we could be living in Blade Runner.
We could.
Do you
And
think that we are? Let
let's
me know. Do you think
let
we
us
are?
know. Go and take your replicant test.
Yeah.
And if you're 100%,
That means
Then
you're... Well,
you-
bad news for you, mate. Yeah.
bad news for you. You are a robot.
Yeah, maybe you can do, like... What?
Deckard will come for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
And next week, that actually, do you know what? That makes sense. Me and Rebecca are going to become Blade Runners because we're half
Blade
replicants.
Runner. Yeah.
And if you are fully, best believe in a
She's-
couple of years,
Yeah.
you're getting hunted
Yeah,
down.
we'll come get you.
Yeah, yeah, we'll come and get you with our expertise.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's not what you get on the test. I think you should still try it. It's really fun and interesting because
is. And
I
the
think I
BFI
actually think we got the same score.
That's even
'cause
more impressive.
Yeah, because I remember taking the like test and I remember the questions, and I'm like, I definitely would have chosen that as well.
Scary. Yeah.
So I think we could combine our numbers and then we can become Blade Runners.
Yeah. And we're just going to be badass at it. We're going to be great.
Yeah,
And,
better than Rick Deckard. Not gonna lie.
yeah, better than Deckard. I would be coming out with a better gun than that. Christ. I'm not running around with my little rubbish pistol.
Rubbish pistol.
I'd be there with at least, a shotgun. I don't know.
Yeah, but then you have to be close range, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really
And I
want
wouldn't
to
let
get
one of them
range.
close to me.
No, it'd be gouging my eyes out. I'd be a goner. I reckon Olivia would be quite a good one.
What, Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Or Replicant?
No. A Blade Runner. I think I'd be a bit of a rubbish Blade Runner.
That's hilarious. That is actually
I'd
so
probably
funny.
be the new Rachel. I'd
Yeah.
probably
It'd
like-
be really funny if you actually know who I am. I feel like Rebecca completely disagrees with that.
I don't know. What, you being a good Blade Runner?
Yeah.
I think you'd get upset and quit. I feel like you'd go, I can't do it anymore. And then you stop.
I'd have to do one bit of running and I'd be like, right, that's me done. Get me out of here.
Yeah, man. I'd have to keep going. Because I don't know.
Rebecca would
That'd
be
be
like,
interesting.
I'm doing it for everyone.
Yeah. I want to look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait up. I'd be like running behind, like out of breath, like, where are they gone? Rogan would be like, you've lost them.
Lost them.
Yeah, I feel like I
Then
might go
someone
on a
will get
tangent.
blown up, you know?
Ooh. Yeah, throw a grenade in.
Yeah.
That
And-
might be a better way of doing it. Like, blow up one of their legs.
Yeah. Like with synths in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tell you
Right.
what, that is hilarious when you do shoot like a synth's leg and they're there
It
just
just
like trying to
falls
hit
off.
you with the
Yeah.
button on the floor. I'm I'm like, mate, you're not doing anything.
No.
You're a goner. Just like smacked my headphone.
Yeah.
I am only good at games that are storylines.
Yeah.
I'm not good at fast-paced games.
But then I always forget what's going on if I haven't played it for a while.
Yeah, but I think
Evie just plays the same game all the time.
I
She just
do
knows
love
everything.
Or Fallout
replaying.
3.
No, I love replaying games, but the issue is with me, I don't like playing it in a different way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've tried to do all the endings on Fallout 4.
I try to, but I have such
I just
like
can't. I can't betray, like, my friends, you know?
No, like I have such like an attachment. Like in Fallout New Vegas, I can't side with the Legion. I just
Oh,
can't.
they're evil, though.
They
no
are
way that you
evil.
could side with
Like
them.
all of the endings in Fallout 4, not Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, they're rubbish. I don't like them. Like the best ending is siding with the NCR, and they're still
And they're
questionable.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah. And like, yes, man, he's evil. He just wants it to be overrun with robots. Mr. House, he's not that great either.
No.
And the Legion, like if you're siding with the Legion, you're a psychopath. You are.
On that note, thank you very much for,
Thank you for watching.
listening or watching, whatever you're doing, to this very first episode of Finch's Film Club podcast. There will be more, because I've already filmed them.
Yeah.
Your fault.
Olivia's in one.
Yeah. The annoying person in the background of this video,
There's been a
you've
lot
heard
of
all of
noise.
all of the noise.
Talking about Silkion.
Yeah, she will be in an episode. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the good places. And on YouTube, go and find me on TikTok and Instagram. And you can share it with your friends. And they can listen to it as well. Make sure you download this episode, because then you can like listen to it when you're like on the train.
Even better.
Even
Yeah.
better. Thank you very much again. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time.
I did.
Wow. I'll see you next time.
Bye.